marathons as somebody like you who's watching from home, and she started to exercise and retrain her brain by taking what we taught her. And what I can share with you is she replaced her corporate salary, the money she was making at a job. She started her own business, and she started to travel more, have more time with her daughter. She's starting to, based on what she told me last night at dinner, have more life freedom and choice freedom and emotional freedom. So instead of me talking, let's welcome Kay. Why don't you give her a big shout out in the community? Says, hey, Kay, thanks for sharing. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I am great. Sound great.
So tell me a little bit about you. I mean, I shared some of the information with everyone. What should people know about you?
Well, something that people should know about me is that 4 months ago, almost 4 months ago, I was at home watching a brain-a-thon, just like they are, and I was working a corporate job, working my 9 to 5. I have a beautiful 9-year-old daughter that I love very much, and I was really pulled in a million directions, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had zero time abundance, giving all that I could at my job, giving everything that I could to my daughter, wanting to be active at her school, trying to balance everything and take care of myself. And I always was grateful, but I knew that the situation I was in was not sustainable. It was exhausting. It was scary because we were dependent on one income, and we never had enough, and we never had enough time to do fun things.
How did it make you feel as a single mom?
Oh, man. I'll tell you one thing it made me feel was motivated. Motivated to change my situation. It made me feel motivated to change my situation, but honestly, it was scary. I wanted to show my daughter, like any parent, that she could be, do, and have whatever she wants, and that she can live her fullest potential, and I knew that I had to do that myself. So I would try different things, even different side businesses. I would look for different opportunities to change my situation, and I would have some successes, but nothing that was the lifestyle change that I had been looking for, nothing that was sustainable, that really made a difference, from that I knew we wouldn't be worried about anything from then onward. It just didn't happen, and I didn't understand why. I was frustrated. I didn't know why. It wasn't
So you were
happening.
working hard.
Yes.
You had big goals and dreams.
Yes.
You tried some side businesses.
Yes.
And nothing was really clicking. And so,
Did my vision boards, did my affirmations.
so you're doing some of the right things,
Yes.
and it didn't click. And so what happened with your job?
So this was interesting. About maybe 2 months after I had started exercising, my corporate job was I was coaching an executive, a CEO, in the corporate arena, and he chose to step down, and he realized that he was no longer aligned with the company. So I had a choice at that time to stay on working with other executives, but I had been exercising, so I'd already been making some changes, and I had been working to build my business for that short amount of time. And I had to choose if I was going to go in that direction and dedicate more hours and be pulled in that way more, or if I was going to really focus on what I had been seeing happening within myself and within my business. So I chose to go for it and focus on my business.
So when you left your safety net of an income, and you were making about $60,000 a year at the time,
Yes.
you went from making income to zero.
Yes.
And so was that scary?
Oh my God. It was beyond scary. I have to support my daughter. It was one of the toughest decisions that I've made. It was very scary.
And so what gave you the confidence that you can take that leap and feel that fear and do it anyway? Because you tried to have a little side business that didn't work well. So what gave you that I'm going to do it, and I can do it, and I'm doing it?
Yes, definitely 100% the Winning the Game of Money program. Definitely the program. It's the only thing that has been different for me than from, the last 10 years that I've been trying to achieve my goals. I knew that I just seen the actions that I've been taking, and I saw my brain operating at a higher level. Finally, I saw a clear path from where I was to the goals that I wanted to achieve. I really didn't have that in detail before, and I knew that the path that I was on, I knew that things had finally changed and that the switch had finally been made, and my subconscious blocks had been moved, and I'm so grateful to God that I had the courage to take that leap and to do what I knew that I needed to do.
I love it. So you watched one of our Brainathons, and I'll share more with everybody about the Winning the Game of Money program later, but you watched one of the Brainathons. You were in a crossroads of a time in your life, and you felt the fear. You did it anyway. What gave you the courage to step into your greatness?
Meaning to choose to purchase the program?
Well, forget about purchasing the program, but to do what you needed to do to break free from what was holding you back.
Oh, man. I had the confidence. I totally knew. I was totally I'm reprogrammed.
But before that, so before that, did you have the confidence and the certainty, or was there lack of confidence and lack of certainty? What were you feeling before? Oh, I want people to know how powerful inner sizing is and retraining their brain is. So I'd love you, in your own words, where were you before versus the results and who you are today, and then where are you going?
Yes. Before, I was just really afraid. I was frustrated. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I never had enough money at the end of the month. My account went negative every month. And I didn't have time. I was pulled in a million directions. Oh my God. Thinking about where I am now and where I was then, gosh, I almost can't even believe that it's just been 4 months ago. Because I didn't even imagine that I would be in this situation so quickly. I believed it would happen, but I had no idea that in 4 months it would be this way.
So you started taking control of the most powerful tool in the universe, your brain, and so you start to get some amazing clarity and results. So let's talk. I've got a couple of notes here. What are some of the results? I want to hear some of the financial results, but more than the financial results, Winning the Game of Money is not about money. It's about everything else that you get to become and feel and do and experience and share with the world. So what are some of your results, and then who have you become, and who are you exploding to become even more of?
First of all,
you need a Kleenex?
I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. First of all, I replaced my corporate income, and the most amazing thing is that.
So you're making the same amount of money you made before?
Yes,
more.
You're making more. I'm making the same, and more.
And more.
Yes.
So you're making more money, so you replaced the income.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about money anymore.
No. And
what else is that?
And an important part of that is that not only have I replaced my corporate income, but I do what I love. I help people achieve their goals. And that's something I've always wanted to do. And I never knew how to orchestrate it in a way that was sustainable. So that's amazing. And I have total time freedom. My daughter and my daughter is now homeschooled. We travel. We do what we want. If we want to go visit my parents, we go visit my parents. If we want to go on a trip, we go on a trip. And my daughter is even so happy now. She sees the amazing difference. This is something that just happened just a few days ago, and it touched my heart in such a way that I was just moved to tears. She's seen me do vision boards and affirmations and speak positive for years, but because she loves the amazing difference in our lifestyle, a few days ago, she brought me a big poster board and said, "Mommy, look at my vision board." She did that herself, yes. So now I know that my daughter, she sees that if you take control of your mind and you really program your brain for success, nothing is impossible to you. As a parent, what more can you ask for?
That's one of the biggest gifts I know for me, and I know for many people who are watching. So when you started to retrain your brain, what were the things that you noticed immediately happened? What were your favorite parts of retraining your brain? Because there's three parts to it, which I'll share with everybody a little bit later. But what did you notice immediately in the first, let's say, week or two?
Something that I noticed immediately that I thought was amazing was how I began to think about things differently. Things that would previously bother me or cause concern within me or maybe some anxiety didn't. I mean, and it could be from little things like something that could annoy you, or, you know, if I had this actually happened. I had an automatic payment come out of my banking account that I wasn't expecting. So that was money going out that I hadn't anticipated. And previously I would have been like, oh, okay, oh my gosh, because I was so tight in my finances. But, you know, it didn't bother me.
So you started to change your money story.
Totally. I totally noticed that my entire thinking about money was different. And that really surprised me because I didn't necessarily have any different results yet. So I totally got to see that some type of way my consciousness, my thinking about money and wealth was already changing.
And that's just within a few weeks.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
you've replaced your income. Where do you see
Yes.
your income and your life going in the next 6 months, 12 months? You know, where do you see it going? Where do you see your income and your lifestyle going?
Yes, I know that next year I will break 7 figures.
7 figures.
Yes.
Hold on. 6
Yes.
figures is 100,000.
Yes.
7 figures
Yes.
is $1 million.
Here's the reason why. Because for years I've had financial goals. I wanted to work for myself, helping people do what they love. I knew I had these abilities in me. I've had that in me for years. And
You felt that there was
I knew
something
that,
within
yes.
you.
And I tried to establish it, but it didn't work out. Now, things that used to take me months to do or that I had no idea how to do, it happens like that. Things manifest in my life so quickly. Intentions just come to me. Sometimes when I don't even want to sound like Pollyanna, but the truth is I can't even stop the good that comes to me. I was at Costco shopping, and a woman walked up to me and handed me $100 bills to pay for my cart of groceries. I didn't ask for that, but I knew that I had reprogrammed my brain to be able to allow all of the good that's already here for us to be able to come to me, and it's made such a huge difference. And so now I know that my success is like a freight train. It can't be stopped.
It sounds to me, and this is something really important, is that you're in alignment with
Yes.
wealth and more money.
Yes.
But I also want to make sure people recognize that this retraining your brain isn't about some